Diabetic mistake is that sometimes I simply don't care. They practically saved my life, and I realized how stupid of a mistake I made. Let me tell you about my biggest diabetes mistakes that I've been making. So you don't make these mistakes if you're looking to improve your blood sugar control or if you are just diagnosed with type 1 or type 2 diabetes. Let's go! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tom. I've been type 1 diabetic for over 30 years, and on this channel I help you navigate your diabetes journey. Guys, during my 33 years with type 1 diabetes, my blood sugars have been all over the place. At one point my A1C was as high as 13%, which is extremely high. And the reason for this was simple. I was new to all this and I was making a lot of mistakes. And I want to share with you my 5 biggest mistakes today, because I think almost every diabetic, no matter if type 1 or type 2, is making some of them. And if you are watching this video, it's not a medical advice. I'm not a doctor, but you can take this video as a learning opportunity how to learn from some of the mistakes that I have been learning so that you don't make them. And the first mistake I have been making is underestimating the power of a good diet.
Are you allowed to eat that?
I know so many type 1 diabetics who like to announce to the world, I can eat everything, cakes, cookies, candies. I just need 2 burros for that. If I take the right amount of insulin at the right time, I can eat all this sugary stuff. It doesn't matter.
Guys, this is the biggest white lie you have been telling to yourself. Carbs spike blood sugar. It's simple as that.
You know, I have to admit to something. I really like gummy bears, and I used to eat the whole pack of them. And my excuse was, okay, I take insulin and it will cover it. It's fine, I can do that. But I never found a way to bolus for the full pack of gummy bears and not see a spike in my blood sugar. And the same for pizza. Don't tell me you can eat the whole pizza for dinner and bolus for it the way so that your blood sugar line stays straight like this. Don't tell me you can do that.
No matter if you are type 1 or type 2, eating too much carbs is bad for you.
These kind of carby meals are usually the #1 reason why my blood sugar gets out of control. So currently I stick to low carb diet because I know whenever I try anything else, I always regret it. #2 mistake that I have been making a lot is being late. And I think I'm late almost every day. So what exactly do I mean? Well, too often I take my insulin too late. So I prepare my lunch, I sit down, I want to start eating, and then I realize I need to take insulin. So I take insulin and I eat right away. What happens next? My blood sugar explodes because I took the insulin too late.
What did you expect, man?
Another example of me being late is when I decide to go for a walk. I check my blood sugar, I see it's normal, so I reduce my basal rate and I head out from the house. But because I'm using insulin pump, at the point when I'm leaving the house, I have some insulin on board. This is the insulin that the insulin pump have been giving me for a couple hours before I left the house. What happens next? Well, I start walking and in half an hour I go hypo because I reduced my basal insulin too late.
You better have some hypo snacks on you, huh?
My third diabetic mistake is that sometimes I simply don't care.
Why don't you say it, bro? You don't give a flip.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just too lazy to go for a walk to get that spiking blood sugar down. Sometimes I don't feel like getting up at 3 a.m. to change my infusion set because it's blocked and my insulin pump alarms is going crazy. Sometimes I don't feel like working out and I just sit around, I make videos for you, I watch Netflix, and I'm just being lazy.
Sometimes? It's been like that since COVID started, man.
Guys, if you're like me and decide to take a day off from all the diabetes restrictions from time to time, I totally understand. I do that too, and I think it's 100% normal. But I have to admit, I have been lazy for too long. I'm getting fat and my insulin sensitivity is going down. So I made a decision that starting today, I will do a workout every day for the next 30 days. And I want to make this commitment here so that you can keep me accountable. But if you feel like me, if you want to stay more active, then join me. Next 30 days, we're doing a workout every single day. Mistake #4 is traveling diabetes light. Guys, I travel a lot, and it happened to me a few times that I went somewhere for a business trip or a vacation, and then I didn't pack all the diabetes supplies that I ended up needing.
Remember how you were in Oman? Your insulin pump stopped working. And you didn't even have a spare one or syringes. That was fun.
Yes, exactly. This was my biggest diabetic mistake I ever made. My insulin pump suddenly broke down. It started giving me alarms and stopped giving me insulin, and there was no way to fix it. And I had spare vials with insulin, but I didn't have a spare insulin pump, and I didn't have injections, so I had no way to inject the insulin to my body. And if you are on an insulin pump, then you know that you need insulin practically non-stop. You cannot be without it for more than a couple hours. And we were in Oman, in the middle of a desert, so we had to drive like 3 or 4 hours to the nearest hospital. And in this hospital, nobody knew how to fix an insulin pump. They didn't even know what an insulin pump was. But the nurses in this hospital were so nice that they gave me syringes, so I could take these syringes and inject the insulin to my body using these syringes. They practically saved my life, and I realized how stupid of a mistake I made not bringing a spare pump and spare syringes. And the rest of the Omani trip was so stressful because we were staying in Oman for another week, and I had to use syringes and rapid-acting insulin from the pump to actually apply the insulin to my body. So I had to take injections like 6 or 7 times a day because this rapid-acting insulin only works for 3 to 4 hours. So I had to get up twice every night to get an injection. It was so stressful. So always, no matter what, bring enough diabetes supplies and always bring spare insulin pump and spare syringes. Mistake number 5 that I made was that I didn't connect enough with the rest of diabetes community. I didn't realize that knowledge in the diabetes community is power. And since I started connecting with others through my channel and through Facebook groups, I learned so many tips and tricks from all the other diabetics out there, and it helped me so much. Question of the day: what is your biggest diabetes mistake that you have been making and that you think everyone else, every other diabetic should know about? Let us know in the comments. By the way, guys, I want to apologize because I'm no longer able to respond to all of your comments, but I want to stay in touch with you. I want to interact with you. So I'm planning to do some more live streams where I could interact with you real time, and I also want to schedule a room on Clubhouse next week where we could all talk about our diabetes mistakes and how to avoid them. So if you are on Clubhouse, stay tuned because an invitation will be coming up on my YouTube community page. Guys, if you want more diabetic tips from me, click on one of the videos on the screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next Type 1 Talks video. Ciao!